I'm Christine from Pack Hacker. In this video, we're taking a look at the North Face Isabella hip pack, which I've been testing for 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, click subscribe so we can keep bringing you content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So I really liked the fabric on the outside of this hip pack. The primary material here is a, let me check my notes, 300D heathered polyester ripstop. It's got a nice texture to it, and it also has a non-PFC durable water repellent over the whole thing, and it worked really well. It got caught in the rain, no problems, which is awesome. And then this front is a little bit of a different fabric. Let me see, so you can see the ripstops up here, and then down here we have a 70D washed nylon, which again is just sort of it's nice and soft. It's nothing, spectacular or whatever, but I really like it. So looking around here, obviously this is the North Face. So we have a big logo here. A lot of times, you're buying it because you like that, right? And then there's also the North Face on some of the zippers, which these are YKK zippers. And then the front one has just a regular webbing pull, but these back guys, the main compartment ones, they have these sort of like rubbery, plasticky, it almost goes through like a zip tie. I don't know, but they're really easy to grab, especially you can see, look, they've got a little grippy on the back and then the North Face on the front. It made them super easy to grab, to open and shut while you're wearing it and not wearing it. Along with the strap, which we'll get to soon, there's also a carry handle, which might seem like overkill for such a small little pack, but I actually found myself using it a lot, especially like taking it on and off and just moving it from place to place. It was really nice to have. And then there are a couple of daisy chain of attachment, or there's a daisy chain of a couple attachment points on either side. Didn't use those too much, but maybe you'll find a use for them. Then before we move on, we do have this Woojin Z-buckle. It's a different shape than I've seen before, and you can see it's sort of got like a marble texture on it. It works, as buckles should, and it works very well. It popped off on me once, but I don't know if it wasn't clicked in all the way or what, because it never happened again. So I think that speaks well for it. All right, so as for the harness system, before I forget, there is a nicely padded back panel. You can see I'm squishing. That's the amount of cush we've got there. So it's pretty nice if you've got this thing sort of packed full of stuff. You're not gonna feel like your phone poking you or your keys or whatnot poking you, however you have that, which is really great. And then the strap itself is long enough to wear crossbody over either shoulder. It goes both ways, which is awesome. So you can, switch if one gets tired, although it is so little, I never really found and had a need to switch it, but you can if you need to. Plus it does go short enough to go around your waist. It is a hip pack after all. We've got strap keepers here to contain the excess so you don't have anything floating around, flapping around. And the only thing to mention is the adjustment stays pretty well in place, but like after a few days of like pulling it off and putting it back on, it gradually works itself loose. So it's just something you'll have to readjust every couple of days, but it doesn't happen like instantly while you're wearing it. So I find that to be pretty cool. All right, so it's called a hip pack. I'll show it to you in hip pack mode first. Obviously, it's very comfortable to wear it in either as a crossbody or as a hip pack. It does, it hangs off you a little more the more you have it packed, because there are no compression straps or anything like that. And we're gonna test and see how fast I can adjust this to show you it as a crossbody. You can see it does adjust pretty easily. And what's even nicer is then as you have it as a crossbody, it is very easy to flip around from the front, which is where I found it to be most useful because you can just grab it and get into it, or then if something, you need to get it out of your way, you just flip it around. You saw how easy that was. Worked really well throughout. I helped set up a wedding shower, I explored some gardens, I take it grocery shopping. It all works great that way. Okay, so this is a 2.5 liter sling. There's not a whole lot going on the outside, but we do have one secondary compartment, this front pocket, and it opens a little bit on a diagonal very easily. And inside you will find this super duper soft fleece lining. Let's see if it focuses some. Yeah. It is just, it's so soft. So clearly this is the place for your phone or sunglasses. And I do say or because I've got the 3D printed phone right there, but it's like once you have one of them in, it is a little harder to wedge in the other. You can, and especially depending on, you can see I don't have a ton in the main compartment, but when I was helping to set up the wedding shower, I had a lot more in the main compartment, and then I wouldn't have been able really to finagle too much into this front compartment. So if you need to, if push comes to shove and you really need to, you can fit them both together. And it's a great place for them to keep them protected, but it is easier to sort of pick and choose, and you can always stick the other one in the main compartment if you have room there. All right, let's head into the main compartment. You can see it opens along the back panel with this horseshoe zipper, and it's double-sided, so you can grab it from either direction, especially when you are wearing it on your front. That makes it really nice and convenient, and it just opens very nicely, or you can just partially open it, reach in, grab what you need. Because the zipper's on the back here, you do have a bit of a covering, which is good if you find yourself in inclement weather, and it is still super easy. Look, you can see everything I've got in here. It's very easy to open up. We've got this beige liner, and it's the same no matter what colorway you have. And then against the back panel here, we have this floppy mesh pocket. It is very floppy. Like, you can try to sort of organize things, but a lot of times when you're shoving things in, they will fold over and whatnot, and things can get jostled out of it, so it's more of a guideline than it is a hard and fast, we're gonna hold your things tight here. It's also a very small sling, so it's not like they're gonna be super hard to find if they pop out. Along the back here we have a key leash, and you can even see I didn't do that on purpose. It gets twisted a bunch, and it's very short, but it works. It's sort of, it seems like you should keep the keys in this back pocket, but I did find they fall out a lot just because as I jostle it around, like I said, this pocket is not very sturdy or stiff, so it just does that. Then you can just sort of divide up your gear as you wish. I've got my wallet there, some chapstick, lotion, and then on the outside I have a mask, my AirPods, some tissues. You've got room. I've had snacks in here, markers, notepads, and my entire coupon book. You have a lot of room to play with here, and depending on the situation, this would be a great travel companion, especially if you're going through the TSA lines. Stick in your passport, your wallet, everything out of your pocket so you don't have to empty them at the TSA line. You just take off one thing, put it in the bin, bing, bang, we're done, right? So even though there's not so much organization, it's not difficult to use. So there you have it, the North Face Isabella Hip Pack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.